You know, every day I have to weed through a whole lot of hate mail. And I have people constantly saying things to me like, man, why do you keep talking politics for? Why do you keep trying to divide people? Why are you spreading so much hatred and division? It always cracks me up when they say that, because I say to myself, wait a minute, I'm over here. I've made content calling out hypocrisy. I've called out racism. I've called out bigotry. I've called out homophobia. I've stood up for people when I saw their rights being stripped away. I stood up for people that didn't necessarily look like me or sound like me or believe like me or think like me or live the lifestyle that I live. And yet I get accused of being the one that's trying to divide people by people who stays in their bubble, believes everything that their talking heads say to them, who wants the entire country to look like them, to sound like them, to talk like them, to believe exactly like they do. And if you don't, we're going to secede from the Union. We're going to do away with democracy altogether. We're just going to take our ball and we're all going to go home if you guys don't conform to what we say. But yet they turn it around on us and say that it's us causing the division, when there's absolutely not a lick of diversity on their side of the fence at all. What I've learned ever since Donald Trump entered into the political arena is they have really gotten good at following his lead. They've got really good at gaslighting people. They've got really good at making us all feel stupid, because at the end of the day, if you argue with an idiot long enough, they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. And you catch yourself in a situation where you're constantly having to explain to somebody. What's so tiresome about this whole damn thing is that you're constantly having to explain to people what something is. You're constantly having to say, well, this is why that this is hypocritical. This is why that this is racist. This is why that this is homophobic. This is why that this is bigotry. This is why this is anti-Semitic. You have to constantly tell people, oh, and this is how government works. This is how laws actually work. It's a constant game that you're having to play with people who don't know what the hell they're talking about and are only focused on one thing, and that's their way of life being protected. They live in their bubble, and the only question they have is, what about me? It's what about me? What about my tax dollars? What about me? What about my life? It's never, what about the other side? What about another way of looking at it? What about these people? It's never that. And so it's a constant battle for us to be in this conversation and do what we do. But we're not the ones over here causing the division. It's just that we don't want to be unified with people who says to us that your vote shouldn't count. We don't want to be unified with people who says they don't believe in democracy. Why would we want to be in a boat with people like that? I'm all for hearing new ideas. I'm all for hearing different ideas. And I'm all for having a strong Republican Party. Now, that may come as a left hook to some of you, but what I really wish is that I had an alternative, that I had a party that was on the other side that had ideas that I could look at the table, see what's on it, and say, okay, which side here has the best idea? Instead, what I have, and the reason why that I go hard left all the time, is because on the opposite side of the fence, I've got people who are spiraling our country towards a totalitarian government. They're spiraling us directly towards a dictatorship, and they're perfectly okay with it. I would love to have a party over there where we had the two-party system. I don't want it to be a one-party system. But sadly, that's the direction we're headed, because they can't get their shit together. And me saying that will cause somebody to go, you're being divisive. No, you're on the side that's divisive. You're on the side that refuses to hear another person's struggle. You're on the side that refuses to hear another person's ideas. You're on the side that refuses to try to understand another person's lifestyle. So it ain't us over here trying to divide people. Okay? And we're tired of being gaslit. The whole damn thing is getting pretty tiresome.